Everybody
All
need to
right.
pick me up.
Yeah.
Like,
Stream is on.
We need some booze. We need some booze.
right.
Oh, I'm pouring up as we speak.
You
All
know,
right.
I'm actually gonna get a beer. Grab a beer. Why not?
Fuck it. So, yeah, we last left off where Quinnemere showed, and from what happened, and he brought he teleported back with her body, leaving your characters off with dealing with the aftermath of this. And so we check over pretty much what all these people had. They didn't really have much. um, they really were just cultists swayed by their corrupted mayor.
Grounder took a good shot. Got a good hold on him.
And
What was the plan? We committing genocide or not?
Nah.
we
I'm
committing
down. I'm
genocide?
down.
Yeah.
I'm down.
No, no genocide, but we're definitely what is it where you destroy all its idols, all the gods' idols. Not what that's called. Where you kill the deities.
Purge
Yeah, we're gonna
or
be doing that.
a purge or defilement or
Yeah, yeah, defilement. That's a good one. I'm gonna defile a few of these altars.
Um, Waylon kind of he numbly walks over to the uh the the corpse of the blight spawn,
what?
and then
Yeah,
he opens up his coat and he takes out his tools. He starts to open up the chest cavity of the blight spawn. Takes the two clamps, rips it open, and pulls the chest open so you can get to the poison sac in its head. And tears coming down his face as he numbly like starts to extract the poison from the blight spawn. And he as a blood and guts like you can hear like the moist sound of him kind of pouring through the creature's innards and pulling out its organs, viciously throwing it to the side. He says over his shoulder, "I intend to spend my time here, going to the shrine of Desna, repairing it as it should have been. I'm pretty sure it was an eyesore to Shalelu to see her goddess's place of worship in such disrepair. I will not leave here until it is cleaned up properly, at least restoring the hinges on the door." And you hear his voice crack. He just stops talking and he
As
just goes to
as your
work.
voice cracks, as you're doing that, Caldum had kind of walked up behind you as you were digging through the corpse, and he puts his hand on your shoulder as you're working, and he says, "Waylon, get whatever you need to get to make my blades as deadly as possible, so I can fulfill what Shalelu would have wanted me to do, and stick my sickle into Makmurian's heart."
I need something to set this mood. Give me a second.
"It shall be done."
And Caldum kind of squeezes your shoulder like tightly, not like to hurt you or anything, but just kind of squeezes it tightly and walks away.
We're talking about fixing doors on a decrepit shrine. What of this town? We need to leave. Damn sleeping. Damn staying here for the night. I couldn't rest here easily, knowing one of ours died here, without having the urge of setting the. Let's get what we need and let's go.
All right. Um, the characters then go to well, I think Andretti did have something on it. He did. The only thing he had a magic, he had a +1 spear. Yeah, that was all he had on him before his body bursted open into the blight spawn. Oh no, he had there it is. He had 3 potions of cure light wounds, 2 potions of shield of faith, and he had 3 doses of blue winist poison and 2 antitoxins.
Poison,
He
poison, poison.
uh, he had a +1 spear, the keys to the manor of his home, and a silver unholy symbol of Glounder.
Yeah, take and destroy all that shit.
Hmm.
And then
We take the body, toss it in the flames.
yeah, the
The
blight
body
What's left?
spawn.
skeleton.
What's left of that
What's
big
left
ass
of the
body?
blight? The yeah,
A
what's
body
left of it?
parts. That shit
That's
got
exactly what she does. She starts taking body parts and tossing.
Damn.
See her bloody blood, his blood all over her clothes. She's clearly like not in a logical state.
Meanwhile, for the rest of the place, the house that one of the those of your characters that were interested in seeing what the heck was in this old farmhouse, um, we didn't find any traps or anything of that sort on the porch, which was twisted and entwined vines of dead ivy that draped the rotting columns and the broken boards of this rickety porch, creating a thick curtain of vegetation. The door is hanging from rusty hinges, barely visible through all that ivy. Pushing through the vines to get through the door, you can find a deformed human skeleton on the boards, mostly overgrown by the vines. Inside the front room, there's a cold hearth that dominates the large room. Between the mostly collapsed internal walls and separate jumbles of crumbled furniture, it seems that this large room may have once been several smaller rooms. A rickety ladder leads to what looks like an upper loft above, visible through several large holes in the overhanging ceiling above. A large wooden cage sits in the southwest corner of the room. Um, huh.
make sure to tap in, guys. Like the stream. Get them likes up.
Alright. Um, the uh, the cage is empty. Doesn't seem to be anything or anything or anyone in it. Um, Going towards another room, you can find broken chairs, old straw-filled mattresses, and water-stained, moldering quilts littering the room, which has had years of water damage, rotting the floor here to the point where dangerous to walk. You do notice that uh, putting too much weight on it will cause the floor to give away. um, Under a pile of rags a few feet from the door, um, there you notice that hidden underneath it, it was a strong box, and in the box contains various pieces of jewelry, quite valuable jewelry. They look like they might have been trophies taken from victims over the decades.
Man, come back.
Right.
Huh. Entering another room. See, do I have a map of this? Oh, you know what? I
Yeah.
do.
Yo, Lou, refresh your page real quick. If it'll refresh my
What a
mental
crazy pic.
check. Yeah, this dude from Severance and shit. Forgot I had that shit on there.
Oh, I caught up. I
Oh
watched that
man.
last week.
Yeah,
On
that shit is crazy.
yeah, I caught up on season 2 on the weekend. I was like, what?
Good, you got to wait for a good. You got to watch a good chunk of it.
Yeah, yeah, I
Waiting
did.
that shit week to week is terrible.
Uh huh.
Here's my appraisal check on those jewelry items, Lou.
To be about a little over 500 gold pieces worth of jewelry.
Throw it in the pile.
Was Icarus the one with the pace checks? No, she wasn't. She wasn't.
There's another room. There was another. 800. Is
It's
that it?
probably Quinn or
Yeah, it was either Quinn
Whale.
or me.
No, I do not have a pace checks.
Yeah, I don't think it was you. I think it
Um,
was
It was
definitely Quinn or
so
Whale.
after checking that room, this room was where you found the jewelry. You go through this door, and what you see in these back rooms,
I don't see nothing on it. Yeah. Oh,
really,
You got to shift over.
there we go. Yep, I'm here.
and what you see in the back two rooms appears to be to the south. This long room is empty, save for a large mound compost. It's covered with tiny black mushrooms, heaped nearly to the ceiling in the southeast corner of the room. Off to the north, an old kitchen seems to have been repurposed into some sort of indoor garden. The workbench cluttered with pottery stills and glass alembics stands below small alcoves filled with vials and beakers. Dozens of clay vessels rest haphazardly on wooden boxes, each sprouting neatly pruned shrubs or large exotic mushrooms. They appear surprisingly well tended given the state of the rest of the building, though the roots of several have burst through their pot.
They got the fertilizer from the pile of shit in the other room.
With Waylon and his expertise and such.
Can I was about to say, can I tip
Yeah,
10 on that? On that
yeah. What
knowledge check?
you clearly can identify this as a lab, and what they've been doing here seems that they've been growing dangerous fungi be utilized in their rituals, such as distilling um, the poison to create blue winnis poison that they have placed on their sickles.
Oh, fuck is that?
As you examine the plants growing here, it reveals a large collection of poisonous mushrooms and other strange fungi, including several containers of pale blue mold that do check out as blue winnis. Um, Eating it, obviously not a good thing. It will cause mild discomfort, but should the toxins be extracted and concentrated, you can create blue winnis poison. Also, here are four green puffball-like spore cases, gray and the size of a man's fist.
Hmm.
It seems to be nothing of any. These don't seem to be naturally of this world that Wayland can identify.
Hmm.
Somebody have a planes check.
See if it looks over at Ren
Yeah,
and Icarus.
I could do that.
It looks around. It looks at the. We must have checked the rest of the like the building, I guess. We'll take 10 on each room. See for any secret room, any loose floorboards or traps or hidden safes or
Who did the somebody? Who did the planes check?
Ren.
You did deafness too, Captain Deafness as well.
Ren, you realize, yeah, these strange, strange plant, these strange puffball-like spores are they're not of this world at all. They they're actually immature and they got flip paw. That demonic entity of a plant that had taken over that pig earlier. These puffball-like spores is basically the the seed of where they would spawn from.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Among these four cases sits a fifth case, but it's empty. Should these spores be planted in a dead body of a proper size, usually a tiny body, the spores will grow into newborn Sith gods.
Oh, no.
But as for now, they can be destroyed with ease.
Seriously, we should absolutely destroy these things.
So you realize where those demons actually were coming from,
Coming from the kids.
and what? He said from the kids.
This the the spawning inside they just stayed inside of people, right?
Those hogs that were turned by these
Somebody
were
took the
Uh
fifth case. The fifth case that was empty was the one that
and
they used
on
on
the
that
hog, right?
pig. Yeah.
Yeah.
We should use it on the mayor's body just so we could kill him again.
Here's ooh, the huge mound of decaying plant matter that's in the southeast corner is the disposal of all the dead plants from this lab. The tiny black mushrooms that are growing on the mound You realize they're the same ones that you enjoyed at the feast, the manor. But these are attached to a large slime mold, dangerous ooze that is, for the most part, content to grow upon this heap of compost, slowly digesting the material.
Yeah, we're killing that.
Absolutely.
100%.
Um,
Can't keep it as a pet.
this particular strain of slime molds, relatively sluggish and docile in darkness or dim light. I don't think anybody brought any. Ooh, did anybody bring any normal or bright light into the area, into the house?
No. I mean, unless Rakim had his torch.
Bright light.
Yeah, normal or bright light. Well, right, yeah.
Unless Rakim had his torch. That's
Rakim
what
had
the
his
only.
torch. Yeah, that would
I'm
be
not. I don't know what
normal
you're talking
light.
about. Light.
But Rakim wouldn't have. Nasir would need it.
Hmm.
Not darkfish. I don't need any of that stuff.
Um,
Yeah, Nasir doesn't need it either.
I don't need it either.
I got low light.
Mike got low light too, I think.
with any light, well, the characters want to destroy it anyway, and so you do.
Yeah.
It's and so you do because we don't need to run a whole combat thing on that one. Considering I mean, it is a large ooze, but the- it's compared to your character's power and what
Yeah.
it's capable of. Yeah, your character's you can destroy it pretty quickly. The monks are immune to disease, right?
Yep.
Okay, so yeah, either you probably Nasir can punch the shit out of it and get rid of it. But slime molds are revolting oozes that wallow in rotten decay. Um, they're known to be ambush hunters, and they can lie silently in wait for days at a time, surging into a frenzied movement as soon as prey comes within reach. And
Mm.
they're usually commonly encountered in deep forests. Variations have adapted to life in caverns and sewers as well. They lack any ability to digest food and rely entirely on their symbiotic fungal gardens to break down any organic matter that they find and to easily absorb compost and decay. The molds and mushrooms that coat the ooze in turn receive ample food supplies, and over countless generations, many have developed into deadly variations of the forest or cave fungi from which they evolved. This fungal breakdown is in many ways akin to a disease known as fungal rot, and it can kill if allowed to progress for long. So those who succumb to fungal rot become tired and listless, and eventually paralysis will set in, and your flesh begins to blacken and decay, running from the body in liquid streams that the slime mold can easily absorb. And a somewhat nauseating turnabout, certain creatures find the unusual fungus that grows upon a slime mold to be quite tasty. And these creatures actively hunt slime molds to devour their gardens, although they take care to avoid actual contact with the mold itself, unless they happen to be immune to disease. So if the monks wanted to pick more of these tasty mushrooms safely from the mold, they wouldn't have to worry about the the fungal rot. Slime molds are ovoid in shape. They can grow up to 12 feet in length. Their substance is normally a sickly greenish brown with the coloration depending on their environment, how recently they fed. They instinctually keep their coating of fungus and other vegetable detritus exposed above them, granting the slime mold a distinctive undulating gait rather than the fluid movement of most oozes. So yeah, the way they would attack is they would slam on, they keep slamming you with their body, and they would, each hit would expose you
Disease.
to the fungal rot disease. And they have the ability to engulf, so they could actually cover. They can actually just cover themselves over you. Although, like I said, one quick flurry from the steer, when she was told by Waylon that this mold does not have to be here and should be gotten rid of. It didn't take long for the steer to pulverize it into death.
Just like Silas.
As you're
Refresh
punching,
refresh your
basically,
page real quick, Lou.
pow,
Refresh
pow.
roll 20.
Oh, I gotta rearrange all the fucking shit again.
Yeah, my bad.
All right. Click the chat. Okay. Weird. Where is it?
That was behind Waylon up here.
Roll 20 chat. How come? Okay. Did it pop up now? Oh, there it is. Okay. Now, rearrange. You're here, and the Sears there. Ren is there. Chris is there. Callum's there. Move you over. You over. Yeah, everybody's back in place. Um, um, room is that? Oh, so after defeating the slime mold, um, looking around this place, despite its disgusting use and rustic appearance, it is a masterwork alchemy lab here.
Mm.
And you do find 8 doses of blue winnis poison, all spread throughout this lab. You're able to discover and find like 8 doses of blue winnis poison, 5 vials of alchemist fire,
Ooh,
two
nice.
two potions of shield of faith, 2 potions of neutralized poison,
Hmm.
and a potion of cure moderate wounds.
Confiscated all that.
All right.
Next room
Initial
over,
effect.
uh,
Con damage. Damn, that's pretty nice. Secondary effect. Unconsciousness for 1d 3 hours. Blue wind is poison.
yep.
Hmm.
Now you know what
That's
happened.
a
Yeah,
nice dose of poison.
yeah. I know what happened with Shalelu.
All right.
That blue winnis poison got her. I don't know, it was the charm person. That's what it was. They did have blue winnis poison ready for her though, just in case. Actually, no, that's what they. After she got charmed, that's what happened. She actually got knocked out with that poison. That's what happened afterwards. Um, this windowless room, the room next to the lab, is windowless. It's lit by a single brass lantern hanging from a rusty nail on the northern wall, and there are dozens, perhaps hundreds of moths that crawl throughout the ceiling, rotting rafters, and on the moldering curtains of boarded windows. The disturbance of their movement causing eerie shadows to wiggle on every surface. Old floorboards have been ripped up in the room's corner, allowing a flight of earthen steps to lead down into the ground. The moths here, well, although eerie looking, they're harmless. They are humidity loving mushfen silkworm moth. The same moths, the same silkworm. They come from these moths come from the mushfen silkworms that was served at dinner. Before they metamorphosize into moths.
Mm-mm-mm.
Down the stairs leads to an area. The stairs leading down is thick with webbing, and the walls of this low-ceilinged basement is decorated by curtains made out of a mix of thick sheets of webs adorned with countless dead insects. Most of these are flies and mosquitoes, some of which are quite large. At the far end of the room sits a low wooden table on which a hideous shape crouches, a human-sized statue of an insectile monster made from corn husks, dry branches, rags, and bones. The floor of the room is an uneven layer of moist soil and earth, and three shovels, their blades caked with earth, lean against the side of the stairs. I'd say Ren easily identified the crude statue on the table as being a representation of the god of parasites, Glounder. Closer inspection reveals not only that parts of the disturbing statue have been splashed with blood, but that a number of strange objects lie under the table. Dozen, a dozen cult robes and mosquito masks set aside as replacements or for new members. And you detect a faint stink of rotten decay. I think that's stronger near the floor.
So the statue is it a statue that's on the table, or is it a statue that's propped up to look like it's taking a seat at the table?
It's a low wooden table. On top of the table is the
It's a
is the
statue.
statue. Yeah.
Yeah, let's see if it searches over by the stench.
As you search, even a simple attempt to sift through the soil. As you notice, the smell is stronger, so you grab a shovel and you start to move the soil, and just even a couple of uh, shovels of the dirt starts to reveal the source of the smell. You see a humanoid hand,
Oh, no.
and underneath here, buried, uh, appears to be several bodies. Many of them are nothing more than skeletons now, but there's a few that were much more fresher. Obviously, the ones that were on top were more fresh, whereas when your characters start to shovel more and see more of what's beneath, the obviously the ones further down were already skeletal, so they've been there a lot longer.
Anyone resembles that person that was sent from Magnamar? That letter that the monks found?
Um, did you guys got a description of the?
I don't know.
Oh, didn't you guys find the ring and you were gonna take it
Yeah,
to? Was
we
it
got.
Ren?
Yeah, yeah.
Ren, you're given a signet ring to identify by Icarus that they found.
Oh, ability?
Yeah, nobility.
Oh, I think he has that.
Forgot about that shit too.
I think let me check. Might have been nobility or local.
Yeah, I don't think local he has, but not nobility. I don't think he has nobility.
Yeah, local and local works too.
Local works, all right.
I think two characters tried to identify it and they failed. Like I think it was Caldum and I think it was Caldum and Icarus that tried to, and I think Nasir too. Whoever had
I
local. I
can't
don't know.
identify shit.
Rakim does, I think.
Nice 20. Let's go.
20.
40.
Oh yeah,
Oh, the odds.
you easily recognize this as a ring that a typical Magnamarian government clerk would wear, and they are traditionally used by tax collectors and clerks to seal minor government missives.
Um, oh,
And as you
so
look at the
I see basically.
as you look at the most fresh body, they are wearing the attire of a Magnamarian official.
Uh, Figured out what happened to all the officials. They say
Yeah,
certain
it was the
profiles.
tax collector that showed up.
This appears to be the tax collectors from McNamara. There.
Was it? Yeah. Yeah, he still bears a full head of red hair and wears a ruined suit of nobleman's clothes. It
The
is
least we
indeed
can
the.
do is to take their rings and return it back to Maglimar when we get there, so that the families could know about their whereabouts.
Uh, Whereas if your heal check, you were able to. Oh, is that a raid I hear? It's a raid. We are raided by a party of 10. Thank you, Malik, for the raid. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for the bit.
Yeah, crazy.
Welcome.
What up? What up?
What's up, guys?
What's up? What's
Irish
up?
Wolf, I see you. Cyber Soon. Malik, what's up, man? So, so this is what they spent their time doing. Straying away from the teachings of Desna and into the blood-sucking clutches of Glaunda. After we say a quick prayer for these poor souls given to the maggots and the filth, only trying to do their jobs to earn a decent coin, I say we burn this place to the ground. Ashes to ashes indeed.
Hmm, do it all.
I support burning this place to the ground.
I
I'm sick
support
of
it as
looking at it.
well.
No objections here.
They took everything from me. Everything.
Icarus like shoots a look at you, and she goes, "This. It is hard not to place blame. I don't want to. But Caldum,
Icarus, choose your words carefully.
she. You're right. I am clearly not in my right state of mind. I apologize."
I appreciate that. And I understand we are all very hurt right now with what happened. And I hope you understand that I don't believe anyone is more hurt than I. I do feel like I could have done things differently. You think I don't place that blame on myself? I forever have to live with this.
Um, Icarus, with your medical skills,
Do I have to roll for it, or can I just take 10?
you could take 10. You're able to see that the corpse of Elias Kyle. Nope. Thank you for the follow. Thank you. Thank you. Um,
Ayo, ayo.
the corpse of Elias Kyle, uh, it's certainly well decayed. unfortunately, but you note that the cause of his death was likely due to an enormous gang. Thank you for the follow, Irish Wolf. Um, was due to the cause. I mean, the cause of death was due to an enormous gash that was made along his belly, where the cultists eviscerated him and then stuffed him with corn husks and a few dead sturges.
Yeah. Uh, Not serious as to run. Maybe we should send word back to Magnamar as well about their government agents missing. I'm sure they're probably looking for them.
What perturbs me is the fact that government officials, people who work directly for the treasury of such a large and prestigious city known as a city of monuments, would have so many go missing from official positions without sending someone here of actual might, of actual prowess to do some sort of investigation, to care so little about your workers. Mayor Grumbus and I should have a serious talk about his oversights costing lives of Maglemaran citizens.
Mm. Oh, I was going to point out that that the tax collector came recently, like 2 days before you guys showed up.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah,
I thought
yeah.
I thought this
No,
was
no,
like yet
no. It's not
another.
like yeah, it's not like he's been gone for weeks. No, no, no.
Oh, okay,
Uh,
okay, okay.
They don't even know yet.
Right, they don't even know what happened. For
I
right
was
now,
about to
yeah,
say,
no,
like,
right now, right now, if you go to Magnum, I'll be like, "Where's Elias?" Oh, well, he should be in Ravenmore right about now.
yeah, probably.
He'll come back in a week or so.
oh, okay.
Yeah,
You
I
probably.
know.
thought they sent multiple like tax collectors and just
Oh,
seeing the corpses of them.
he was the only one that went. Yeah, he's the only one that came. Um, but yeah, so there's the missing tax collector. um, the there's a ladder in here.
We have a name for him.
Yeah, yeah, it was Elias Kyle.
Elias Kyle.
We could sending message later on to Quindamir, so he could pass on the word to Magnamar
Yeah.
about
Sounds
the
good.
demise of this person. And the best and rest of just the best that we can do is we'll send word to Quinn to pass along to Magnamar, and we could bury him and give him his proper rights. And at least the family members, if they choose to exhume him, they'll know where to locate him at.
I am pretty sure Maglimara, upon hearing of Elias's passing, as well as Grumbas hearing of the uncollected taxes, will be sending a small contingent of their militia forces out here to do some of the cleanup work. And knowing Grumbas, he will most likely try and turn this into some sort of political ploy. But the good news about it is it will be one less thing for us to worry about as we move forward. We could at least expect that Maglemar's magnifying glass will now be upon this town, which means that Grounder will no longer have a moldy shadow to hide his doings in. Rest in peace, Shalelu.
And that's pretty much what your characters discovered in this place. As for around the outside of the building, you notice a fetid pond with the sound of net. and its surface writhing with a thick layer of wriggling mosquito larvae. And the stench of rot emanates from the maggot-filled corpse of a dead ox calf that lies half submerged on the edge of the pool, tangled in the vegetation.
Jeez.
And near the pool is an old barn with holes that perforate the roof, while streaks of bird droppings and smears of dark red stains decorate the portions that remain intact. The dilapidated remains of a sagging hayloft drip with accumulated rainwater, while at the barn's back wall stands a makeshift candle-lit crown with an enormous set of moth-like wings of moldy canvas.
Hmm. Another shrine to Glounder.
Mm-hmm.
It appears to be
Nasir,
so.
if you can see Nasir walk up to it, can I shatter it?
Yeah, you go
Shatter.
up and you
You see Nasir walk up to it.
burst into pieces.
That guy's gonna come down one day like, what the fuck happened? All
Right.
my shit's gone.
Lying scattered throughout the barn appears to be misbegotten trinkets and trophies, probably taken from sacrificed victims. If you can find hands, feet, and other body parts,
Shit.
with the remaining bones scattered throughout the barn. Although there does appear to have been, there does appear to be a few more valuable items here as well, such as a gold necklace that your characters found, a masterwork light mace emblazoned with the symbol of Magnamar.
Oh.
So somebody with some martial prowess did show up. He probably just got poisoned and
It's
charmed by poor Shalelu.
Mm-hmm.
as your characters identify. Yeah, you should easily identify this. Um,
Shalelu's level 11. She got taken
I
down.
say Ren. Ren. You recognize the light mason fact. Um, it's a typical weapon assigned to tax collectors from Magnamar
Okay.
who
Uh,
who have duties that take them into dangerous or remote areas. Yeah, Elias Kyle was uh he was a he had some
He was
combat
a
experience. Yeah, he had
he's
he had a
proficient, huh?
yeah
he was a
yeah
marshal. Yeah.
Uh,
he just wasn't expecting a whole cult.
Not culprit. Not culprit.
Right.
yeah,
He
right.
was he was expecting to beat up on some bandits or a
He wasn't
monster,
expecting the
here or
priest.
there, maybe a fire pelt cougar, whatever. He wasn't
Monster.
right. He wasn't expecting.
A charmed person to the face.
Yeah.
Damn.
He wasn't expecting this.
Is
Um,
it enchanted detect magic? The weapon.
doesn't detect as magical, although you do spot two auras in the area of the throughout the floor. There's two, or you do detect a magic aura, and as you spend time studying the aura, you find the location of two magic auras. And as you move aside a hand and a foot
No,
to
so
get
True, true scavenger life.
he catches mage hands to move that
oh,
thing.
he does. Okay, he mage hands all the shit
Yeah,
out the way.
right.
He's like,
He's not doing all that.
yeah, you see Ren magically telekinetically lift some of the
Not a
the
hobgoblin.
debris out of the way, and you spot the aura. It is a
Damn.
roll a spellcraft check.
Body parts count as
Wait,
debris.
just give me a two. I need an
Oh,
identifier.
that's right. So before you examine it, Icarus goes over and picks up. You find a pearl, and Icarus, you use your Phoenix bloodline ability as you um, focus your magic on it, and you can feel the magic as if it's speaking directly to you, and you can. It is a pearl of power, first level spell.
A
Oh
pearl of
snap!
power.
Hmm.
That'll do real well for either you or Ren. Mostly Ren.
I think Ren. Yeah, it's for prepared casters.
Mhm.
Uh,
And then that's a second item you said too, right?
although, would it work for? Because the way
I
Arcanist
thought
works
it
is they
allows you
well
to.
no yeah you recall a prepared spell, but when Arcanists prepare their spells, as long as they have a spell slot, they can keep casting the spell. So
Yeah, I don't think
there's
I
nothing
don't
for
think
him
it's
to
gonna work.
there's nothing for you to
I
recall.
think you and I discussed this before, and you said I
Yeah,
have to get like a rune of what's it called, rune of power and
I
stuff.
think it was a rune stone, the rune
Rune,
stones of power.
and they cost
Yeah,
like twice as much too. So that means I'm not getting it.
I think they give like a spell slot back or something. Yeah,
Right, for
Well,
spontaneous spellcasters.
well,
Yeah.
yeah.
Why don't you just make that this? You know, just switch it out.
Let's switch it out.
Switch it up.
It's a
It's just pearl of power and then say
it's a you know what, we'll do
a
that. We'll do
rune
that.
of
It's the rune stone of power, first level. We'll do that.
yeah,
We'll do
yeah.
that.
Good, easy bargain. All we did is pay, in blood for it.
And that's the second aura you said, right?
Yeah, the second aura you find actually on a hand, but this doesn't look to be like any severed hand, or maybe it was way back, but this
Oh,
hand,
not
this
a loose
hand,
hand.
An amulet, handshake.
um,
It lets you. Does it
this
let you?
hand is actually mummified and is actually hanging from a necklace.
It reminds me of that of that
Yeah.
and you can use it as a ring.
There's a
Yup.
uh,
It's not. Yeah, it's either that or a monkey's paw.
Yeah, that
it's
shit.
the it's the it's the it's the fingers of Sakuna.
it's a faint, it's a,
Fingers.
it's a Sakuna
Oh, I
fingers.
gotta think about this.
It's a faint aura. Damn, it's a faint aura, and as Icarus picks up the necklace, hand dangling from it, and she focuses her power on it, and it is revealed to be a hand of glory. These hands, these mummified hands, they will hang on a necklace around your neck, and you can place a magic ring on the finger of this hand, and
Yup.
yep, it
Nice.
count. You could wear the max is two
Three
rings.
rings.
There's three rings with
Three
with this necklace.
instead of
Yeah.
two.
Uh, that's nice. That's dope.
That takes up your amulet slot though. You cannot use
Yeah,
it.
Right.
but I mean, like, it's
Also,
like,
also
it's nice. It's
even without a ring on it, on command,
Nation, nation.
it can the hand will allow you to use daylight or see invisibility once a day.
oh,
I
nice.
forgot I could use daylight as a spell.
Spell like ability.
Yeah, I
Yeah, with your
totally
Osimar.
I
Yeah,
totally
as
forgot.
your heritage. Yeah.
Okay, Kindamir.
I don't. It has never been a need for it.
Right.
I'm just playing. I can't get over like the first three levels. Grease, 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 grease. Greasy motherfuckers.
And that Kundamir the Grease. Um, then that was all that was in this,
Mm.
which I'm assuming Icarus is gonna fucking torch that.
Yeah, man.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
nothing is standing.
Torture,
You
torture.
see, you see RLS standing outside the barn and see,
She
and
flies
not see
above the fucking house and just like conjures a fireball, sends it straight into it.
journey of that.
I take
And
extra to
so,
that as I see the barn explode in glory.
Right. I'll take a smoke to that.
and with that,
Fuck
your
y'all.
and with that, your characters leave the Chenowitz farm, make your way back to the village to find a lot of people outside wondering what the hell's going on.
For good
Icarus,
measure, we should burn the fucking that corn maze down
Yes,
too, because
motherfuckers.
that corn
it's
maze is way
Oh,
it
too
should
it's
already
already
be
tall.
on
burned.
fire.
Yeah,
The
it's
Way
corn
too
already
ma-
tall.
burned.
12 feet of corn is neglectful.
They're
Burn that
wondering what's
corn.
going on, and a lot of them look concerned, and
Icarus doesn't even say anything. She just keeps walking past them.
You have plenty of popcorn to go and eat.
Seer stops and says, Your your mayor and his brother were corrupted by an evil god.
What?
We've taken care of it for you.
A lot of people start looking confused, looking around each other. And a few of them come up to your group and they're like, "What'd you do to our mayor? What's going on? You just come walking through here and you start burning our village down?"
Icarus turns and like a flare of fire, and she goes, "He's dead. We killed him, as he's killed a friend of ours. Go back to
Why?
your homes."
Why would the mayor do that? Another one's like,
He was
you see a few kids nearby and they're clinging to their parents. They're like looking scared as they're hiding behind their parents and and
um
uh a few members of so a few of the villages which are equipped with um with meager weaponry and wearing leather armor. Obviously, probably the town militia. They come up to your group and
Before they approach the group, Ren whispers to Icarus, "Keep in mind, not all of them were cult members. Many of these people possibly were ignorant of the fact of what was going on here.
yeah,
So
but some of them have no idea.
they might be confused and scared."
Ren, at this point in time, ignorance is not an excuse for any parent. And he steps forward towards them as they start to approach.
Icarus doesn't even hide that she whispers, and
Y'all bitches.
she goes, "It doesn't matter if they don't know. They know now, and their actions will dictate my response. We are no longer here to play games or to coddle them. Either they go back to their homes or they attack and die. That's it. I'm not here to negotiate."
militia come forward. They yell out. They're like, "We demand to know what is going on here. What has happened to our mayor? What has happened to the Chenoweth place?
Then
What do you
allow me.
what do you mean? What was it that you what was it that your character said?
He was possessed
Corrupted.
by
What do
a
you mean by
spirit
they
of
were
Cuse.
corrupted?
He was possessed by a spirit of Cuse.
The fuck?
Going on,
Allow me to
Calvin. Calvin doesn't say
answer your
anything, but you just
question
see
first.
him kind of, and he rests his hands on the hilts of both of his sickles, ready to fucking draw them at any time and just start fucking cutting motherfuckers. So but you could see him, like you could see it in his eyes, like he's looking down. He's not saying anything. He's just letting everybody talk their shit, and he's just got his hands on his sickles and his head. He's kind of shaking a little bit, like he's looking fucking fancy,
You
like
see
his
some
booty is
people.
set to
You see
move
some
whenever he wants.
people. You see a few people praying.
So one
Others
of them steps
angry.
forward with
Yeah.
a tear with his face. So it has the ash from the burning buildings on it, but from the soot that had gathered on his face from the burning cornfield and the burning barn, you could see streaks of moisture from his tears in his face. He steps forward and he goes, "If you are looking for the truth, why not look at why not look at the mouth of your own babes? Since it is a well-known proverb that is pervasive, no matter what nationality you are, that from the mouth of babes comes the truth. When I went to your temple to Desna, the goddess that you give your praise to, look at the temple, how you have left it in complete disarray. The door falls off of its hinges. You have not stepped into that temple to give your thanks. Instead, you have placed all of your faith in one man, a mortal, a man who has led you astray, not Desna. And yet, your own children, who you as parents are charged with protecting and guiding in this world, look at their faces. When the night falls, they are known and filled with fear, fear of a place that you have willfully brought them into. And you shrugged it off as simply what? Children's tales. Children playing around. But when you look into their eyes, you see the concern, you see the fear of a lurking evil that you have allowed to come into your town and to corrupt. And you follow the leader of that
That's what it
corruption,
was called.
did you not? He preached to you of the words of Desna. Many of you, this is a small community, so there is nowhere you can tell me that you did not see your neighbors, your brothers, your sisters, your uncles, your mothers, your fathers following a particular thing that made you feel in your own heart that it was wrong. You cannot tell me that you did not feel yourself straying away from the path that Desna has stepped forth. It has slippery slope towards corruption and evil. You cannot tell me that this place, this barn that sit here, wrapped up in cobwebs and decay, on your own land, went unnoticed by you. You cannot tell me that as the sun falls and your children scurry in, before you even lay down your curfew, your children was already huddled up under their sheets, scared, running away. When have you ever known children to obey our curfew? It is fear and evil that you are allowed to fester in your town. Fear and evil that when we have come to this town has taken one of ours because we trusted in you, because we believed in you. Look at your foods. You serve worms and grubs. Look at your children. You allow them to play with what? Sturges. Look at a sturge for what it is, a parasite, a bloodsucker. It only thrives on a simple motive to drink the lifeblood from those that is already living. It is not the type of animal that goes and hunts and strives and puts forth effort to bring down prey in order to feed itself. No, it goes to that which is living and pulls a sample of its own lifeblood from that creature in order to survive. It is a parasite. And that is what you allowed your children to bring into your houses as pets. You tell me where in anything in the house of Desna does she say one is to cavort and to bring along parasites as a plaything? Where in Desna's teachings does she say that you should dig in the ground for grubs, hmm? Moths as a source of food instead of going forth and put forth the work to hunt down prey that is elusive, to do the work to bring the food to your plate? You eat bugs. Eh? Why do you think when I first came here, the hospitality that you offered, I found made me feel uncomfortable? I'd rather sleep in a destitute temple to Desna, your own goddess, which is not my own. Look at my arms. He rolls up his sleeves and he shows the golden keys to Abadar on his forearms tattooed. This is the god that I worship, Abu Dar. A belief that if you are willing to place forth your own hard work and to work on your own beliefs, you can bring forth a earning based on the work that you bring forth. That is my God. You worship Desna. I rather sleep in the temple to Desna that you abandoned than sleep in your own homes because I can sense the evil when I first approach. So you cannot tell me that you have lived here, raised your children here, and you felt nothing wrong. Let me be here to tell you that were it not for one of your own children who braved the night that you sat back and let become corrupted, brave the dangers of that night to come and tell me that there is something amiss. and that child felt uncomfortable with me living in that temple, sleeping in that temple for one night by myself. If it was not for the bravery of that child, I probably would not be here today. Because trusting in your neglect, trusting in your hospitality that you yourself had not done the due diligence of making sure was true hospitality and not ignorance of the evil that lay underneath your mats. If I had trusted in that, I would be dead like my friend Shalelu. So do not come here thinking you have a foot in the situation. Understand that your own homes remain without flames only because your own homes did not have the filth in it that you have allowed to fester here, which took the heart of my friend. Do not worry for the corrupted mayor that you have misguidedly placed your worship in. It is not him you should be worried about. It should be Desna who you should be worried about. For his job was to lead you to Desna. He has clearly led you astray from that. If you need proof of that, when the flames die down, why not go and take a look at the mass graves? And when you see the skeletons and you put two and two together and realize that this situation happened tonight, but those bodies, in order for them to be skeletons, have to have been decayed for quite some time. When that becomes a reality to you, then come back and we have a conversation about it. Or you could take the shorter route and look in the faces of your children and see the fear you have allowed to foster there. And maybe then it will become clear to you.
You hear a voice call out from behind the crowd. They're not wrong. The mayor was not who he says, who he has been playing as. And so you guys hear Vioric voice. And so the people spread out, let him walk through, and he starts to address the crowd. Let me be the witness to their testimony,
I don't trust him either.
because I know everyone here can at least take my word for it. Could be praising them as heroes because he's right. Even when I was a kid, we had the same stories. We had the same questions. And we didn't hold accountable those that raised our suspicions. There was too much trust in one man, one family. Now, our fathers and mothers, and their fathers and mothers, and their fathers and mothers, we've done everything we can to make our living out here. We've been successful. Sure, it's not glamorous, but we're here. But it was being corrupted, as they've said. Me and my children almost lost our lives today. We were threatened by the mayor and this cult. It's as they say, they were worshippers of Glounder. Yes, the same Glounder from those stories that the Varisian people spoke of. Turns to your group and he's like, I've noticed there was one missing, and allow me to apologize.
Icarus cuts him off and goes, "Say nothing of it."
Nods. He turns back to the villagers and he goes, all of you need to get your stuff on. We need to clear out that Chenowitz place. We should have before. Yeah, I understand you were just listening to the mayor when he said not to go near it, to just leave it there. Again, we didn't question. We didn't know why, but we just let it leave. We just let it sit there, and that's what it was festering with all this time. Whatever it is they need, let them have it. I'm gonna get my stuff ready and make sure that my kids are safe, just like you should be making sure that yours are as well. And if you happen to find anyone with one of those masks, we need to bring the perpetrators out here and deal with them accordingly. A lot of villagers go silent. Some of them are murmuring amongst each other. Um, and the militia members that were approaching the characters, they walk over to Vioric and they're like, "All right, show us." Vioric is like, "Well, the things that we need. Let's look over the mayor's manor as well. I'm sure he's got secrets there he's been hiding from all of us." Vioric says this not knowing your characters already scoped a lot of the place out already.
Mm.
In fact, Icarus still has that journal.
He doesn't give it to him.
So several members of the village they go over to Vioric and they ask him questions and some of them ask him like what's like how could this happen or what what's going on. Like they want more details. Some of them are still. I see some villagers are still in shock. Others are actually asking questions. Hey, where's? Asking questions of like missing relatives even. Um, not knowing that those relatives were cult members, secret cult members the whole time. And so Bjork's obviously busy trying to. He's done his part to lead the people's confusion and suspicion and away from your characters. And
Good, because we were gonna kill him. we
basically,
were gonna kill him.
So
basically give you the space that you needed.
Yeah.
Waylon goes to the group in order to get the keys to the mayor's banner so he could go over and hand it over to them. He says, let it be known that unlike your mayor, Red Lotus handed over the keys to unlock the doors to the secrets that have been kept from you. The secrets that have kept you sitting here in ignorance as you are being corrupted or drained by Glounder of the very lifeblood that you need to grow this town. And then he hands the keys over to the mayor. Go and see for yourself and follow the breadcrumbs as we have done in less than 24 hours. Go and see the folly you have allowed to fester under yourselves for more than generations. An obvious corruption that we notice upon first arriving. I expect you will be astounded to know you are handing your children over to this kind of evil. It must be a jarring journey for you.
Thank you. And if there's anything you need, I'll do my best.
You have already served my friends the very mushrooms that grew on the back of the evil that was festering in that barn and called it a meal. I myself was smart enough to avoid such a grisly and evil and ironic meal. But I will take that as much help as I am willing to accept from you. No offense. If you are looking for anything from me, you will find me at the temple of Desda that you all abandoned, fixing it and getting rid of the disrepair that you have left it in. Not because I am doing it as a favor for you, but simply because the life that your neglect and the evil of the mayor has taken from me and my friends. She was a true and devout worshipper of Desna, and to see that place in the state that you have left it in and leave it that way would be a disservice to her. My only request is that after I do the small repairs that I can do in the time between now and when you wake in the morning, that you continue my work and you pick up the proper respect for Desna that you held before you allow a mortal man to come in here and corrupt your views towards Glounder. That is my only request. And it is a request that services not to you, not just you, but your progeny. And he looks over at the kid that came over to him in the middle of the night.
And with that, well, I don't know where your characters want to rest now, but
I already said it. I'm going right back to
well,
that
yeah,
temple.
Wayland and Temple is setting to work.
Ren going there also.
Yeah,
Icarus
Yep.
recommends we
I
leave
guess,
I'm
now.
going back with Waylon and Ren
like, we're
back
all
to our
gonna sit
Uh,
spot before
together.
this shit went down.
a few of the villagers are few of the villagers who clearly um, who clearly, believe what has happened and also agree and are also inspired. They come over and meekly ask if there's anything they can do to help.
Get a broom and get some rags. We have a lot of cleaning to do before sunrise.
They set about work. Um, Icarus, as much as bad as Icarus wants to head out, members of the party do not. They've got their mind set.
Icarus is done with them.
The least these bitches can do now is make me my robes. Just saying.
Man.
Hey, you see that pile of doo doo back there and those white rags? Get to work.
Wow.
Dude. Oh
Uh,
man. Um.
I am ready to become fart dust.
I have a question. If right now Calvin gets the opportunity to choose, do you want your robe or to Shalelu be resurrected? What will he choose? Only choose only one. And if
Shalelu.
you choose Shalelu, you'll never get your robes.
Well, Shalelu. I mean, if we're keeping this shit in
This
character,
man is like
Shalelu.
in character
If you're asking
Shalelu.
me,
He's like in
me,
character
I want my
Shalelu. Out
fucking
of
robes.
character,
Out of character.
Robes.
Right.
Yeah, out of
Right.
character, give me the robes. In character, Shalelu.
that's crazy.
That's funny.
No, that's what I meant. Out of character, not in character, obviously.
Oh. Shit.
Yeah. Oh, if you're asking Cav,
Out
yeah,
of character.
give me,
Yeah,
give me
character.
my robes.
That's
If you're asking
crazy.
Caldum, he wants Shalelu back.
Well,
No, that,
And I'm not
some
living
of
his
you,
life.
some of you characters
Living
choose
mine.
not to rest. Some of you rest. I don't know where you choose to rest,
I'm
but
not resting. The character ain't resting.
um,
I can't really sleep. I don't think Waylon will be able to sleep that night
Yeah, right.
because
Cannot.
in his head he'll be replaying
right.
the whole scene.
And so
Nah,
you characters do what they can, you know, until sunrise, and
yeah.
half of the other villagers wake up, and word spreads like wildfire, and people there's a sense in the community of shock, confusion, it's even tragedy because they now
And
have learned that some of their relatives were in on that cult, and they perished.
Yeah.
I mean,
You
we
Wait,
didn't kill
goddamn
all
right
of
they
them. Some
did.
of them escaped.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's the scary part. Is that because we only dealt with the blind the blight
Who,
spawn when he
who
arrived.
escaped?
I thought Calvin
Nah.
The blight spawn when he arrived,
killed
and we
them.
started beating the shit out of them. Oh, he killed all of them, hunting them down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know when
Yeah.
I was in the last session, he killed all of
Oh,
them. But
Yep.
Yeah.
I thought some of
this there was
them ran
more.
away after the blight spawn started
Nah, he
Nah,
killing
killed
man.
all of
Nah, bro. I was a fucking widow maker.
them. Shit. Okay, never mind.
Or widower.
I was a
Um,
widow maker and I started a fucking new foster home.
them. Well, hopefully some of those villagers follow up on Waylon's offer when he provided the key to the mansion so they could see the proof themselves, all those dead bodies and
oh
all.
yeah, yeah. Chris, I mean, and she was stuck there. She was like, well, might as well look through this journal, I'm guessing.
Pretty
Yep.
much.
Yep.
She reads through this journal, the Kriegler book on its title page, written in several different hands. The book is a chronicle of the Kriegler family, starting with Iola Kriegler herself. And it's all the damning evidence that was needed. It contains the full story of Ravenmoor's fate. It is dense and difficult to. It was dense and difficult to read, though. Um, who has a high linguistics? Was it Ren?
Caldum does.
It's only 12, 14 if he casts deafness.
Okay, so you could bring it to Ren, who can use his linguistics to help decipher the contents of the book.
Damn, the
Okay.
20's on night.
Damn.
Nice.
Ren
That's never happened.
shows off. Ren shows off his superior intellect once again,
Right.
as he explains to Icarus exactly how he's looking through the pages, and he's like, oh,
I know
got it.
exactly what this
This
is. Right.
I've deciphered it.
Yeah.
20's on night.
And so yeah, it chronicles
Broke the Da Vinci Code.
pretty much. It chronicles the full story of Ravenlore's fate. Um, and telling you the truth. Um, that being that this village was founded during the initial burst of Chelish colonialism that saw
Ugh.
the birth of much larger cities like Magnamar and Corvosa and Riddleport. Yet where these cities flourished, Ravenmore never progressed far beyond its rural beginnings. For in the early years, the town was ravaged by what appeared to be a supernatural blight. With the villagers close to starvation, town's founder, priestess of Desna named Iola Kriegler, decided to undertake a sort of vision quest to seek a solution to her village's problem. Alas, the visions she chose to follow did not come from Desna, but from an ancient enemy. As you read the book, you come to realize that that was where the corruption had began from the very beginning. It was the
Damn.
god of parasites and stagnation, Glounder, who tempted and corrupted Iola.
Wow.
So they
She,
never had a chance. That should
she,
started in the beginning. Desna was never here.
he fell victim to these dark visions and came upon a strange commune of his followers deep in the Troll, from whom she learned of a ritual that would ensure good harvests in return for giving the spawn of Glounder a place to safely grow. Her body, her descendants, her village.
Ding.
He was accompanied by two uh druid advisors, both human, and these druids came back to Ravenmore with Iola, a changed person. But while her flock worried about her, they could not dispute the miracles as she worked, and the harvest that year and every year since has yielded enough bounty to keep the villagers well provided and safe. And so from that day forward, as a priestess of Glounder, he was recruiting select members of the village into her inner circle,
Damn.
forming this hidden cult within the populace who helped mask the truth from the other. As Ravenmore grew increasingly isolated, strange beliefs and traditions in town became more and more distorted, and the worship of Desna grew increasingly perverted into a mockery of her faith. Iola
Mm.
eventually Iola had eventually paid for her bargain with Glounder, as her body gave birth to one of the Gossamer King's spawn,
Oh. Oh God.
but
Oh,
not but not before giving birth in the preceding years to several children of her own. And thus the Kriegler line was born. And thus the Kriegler line would rule Ravenmore for decades, both as
Oh no.
mayors and as secret spiritual leaders. And each of them eventually bore the Gossamer King's spawn in a gory, ritualistic death in the wee hours of the morning. Now and then, a particular astute villager had discovered the truth, but the cult was always quick to silence such folks before they could spread any word. You start to think of the remains from some of those remains,
Right.
not just from travelers, but people over the years who had discovered the truth and were kept quiet permanently.
Damn.
And
Damn, bro.
so,
that makes me like upset with Desna as well. Because
and
Desna allows for this to happen because she thinks that she could somehow save Glounder.
and so, over the generations, Ravenmore has stagnated. And then, as of
Oh.
recently, the cult faced an unanticipated peril. Through chance and accident, the Kriegler line had dwindled to a single member, the, the now the now dead mayor,
Yeah.
Andretti Kriegler, a man who was recently been forced to admit that he was sterile. And without the ability to perpetuate his line, he knows that the line of the Gossamer King's spawn will come to an end as well. So, with visions granted by his dark god, made it clear that should Kriegler allow this to happen, the town of Ravenmoor would not only suffer greatly, but his immortal soul would be denied its proper place in the Gossamer King's court in the afterlife. And so what Andretti had been doing was researching a cure for his condition. He was hoping that by performing a number of fertility rituals centered around blood sacrifices that have come to him in his visions, that he can cure his sterility and father children to carry on the Gossamer King's legacy. Initially, he had intended to use his own followers as sacrifices, but he was worried that doing so would test the limits of non-cultic faith, and even worse, make them suspect that there was more to their beloved dream tender than they were led to believe. And so
Oh my god! Oh,
the arrival of
why did that just pop up for me?
what?
I just saw another fucking 20 fucking roll.
Oh, you think?
Oh,
You
it
saw
Yeah.
just popped
I
up
don't
for
know
you.
why my shit is so delayed. It just went.
Oh, it delayed it that
Right.
long?
And
Damn.
across the
Wow.
screen is
It's
super
it's
twice.
the
I'm
lag
like,
spike,
God
man.
damn, bro!
Um, the
Could
arrival
use
of
this
a
shit in battle.
as he continued to write in these last pages, he was excited at the arrival of a tax collector. Less than 24 hours before the ritual was scheduled, and he saw it as a divine sign. But Kyle struggled, and Kyle managed to kill even one of the cult Ugothal allies. And in the end, his sacrifice went exactly as Kriegler had planned, down to luring new sacrifice to town for the next ritual. After all, what better sacrifice than a non believer? And not just any non believer, but what better sacrifice than one who was a servant of Desta?
Oh my god! Stop.
So the last page written was pretty much what your character's arrival, what he knew about you, um, and all the plans that were set to at least capture um mainly capture Shalelu, but anyone would but anyone would if they couldn't capture at least somebody and use them for the ritual for that night. And yeah, it ended with him getting ready for those preparations. That was the entire journal. Well,
Mm-mm-mm.
chronicle, not journal. Chronicle, I should say. It's a chronicle of the whole.
Well, that's all the evidence we need. Guess we'll bring that back to the city of Matamar. Let them know of
So have the sun rises, and yeah, have the villagers, rest of them wake up and filled in on what happened. And yeah, there's definitely a sense of tragedy and confusion, but there's also villagers here that are trying to keep the other people focused. Like um, let's um let's let's just set to work on fixing the things here that should have been fixed and they were led to believe didn't need to be. And some people were discussing, well, who will be the mayor now? There's no more Krieglers, and then others are like, we don't need any more Krieglers. They were alive.
all right.
And so there's a little sense of chaos, but but you realize it's not like full blown panic. These people, you know, living out here in such a meager small population, right at right basically in the middle of a frontier, they don't got time for that. In a city like Magnamar, you can cause fucking panic and chaos quite easily because that's a different type of community. But out here, it's more on survival, and there's a time and place for the getting the questions answered and for mourning, and there's a time and place where they just need to work.
Yo, who's that one god that we just finished leaving a town um where they were dedicated to him?
Erasteel,
The- yeah,
or
that god.
the actual god of communities and living
Yeah,
out in the
they
right.
need to really turn to him because at least he's not out here trying to be like Desna, who thinks that she could somehow like redirect Glounder to like a more positive like line of like thinking. He's like, no, dude, go out there, fucking learn how to hunt, learn how to like provide for your family. He's straight up exactly what they need right now, especially as a town that's trying to like to build themselves together because they've been in a slump since their founding, and they've been founded almost around the same time as Maglamar, so they should be way more progressive right now.
But yeah, members of Erasteel will definitely be sought after for their expertise and for their help, for sure.
Hmm.
Yeah, fuck Desna.
In fact, there's a few villagers that are looking. Damn. In fact, that's a brought some luck to the characters now and then.
True,
He's
I
a
but
don't give a
she's
shit.
soft. She's allowing Glounder to like flourish.
now that's a that's a story. That's not necessarily doctrine.
Oh, so you're saying it's fake news?
That's not works
Right.
in a mysterious
Was
way.
that
He said
reported
it's
by the
fake
Black
Right.
news.
Maga?
That's what she said, right?
Hey, the black. Well,
The Black Maga News Network?
um,
Uh,
but yeah, that is I mean, yeah, that is a thing. I mean, your characters, yeah, not every story you hear in every religion in Galarian is completely concrete. Some aren't, and some are half and half. Um, I think Desna trying to like redeem Glound. I think that's like one of the stories that's told. You'll hear stories and others of Desmond's like, no, we're actually gonna wipe them out like the pests they are, and
Mm,
you'll have like rangers of Desna like going out there and hunting
you
down
wiping the holes.
every glounder that they can fucking find, and
Oh, okay. That's good to hear. I didn't know that
Right.
aspect that existed.
yeah, it's like that with all the gods here in here in Galarian. The Yeah,
So excited.
the stories are, I mean, it's just like real, myths in our world when it comes to like the gods. Like you get a story about Zeus here, but then you hear another story about Zeus over there, and they will even contradict even sometimes. But Huh. um,
Yeah, we have to decide what we wanted to do with
but yeah, I guess your characters gather back together, and
the mule cart.
you're just ready to leave.
Yeah, right.
The way it
Yeah,
feels like
man.
your characters just like,
We're
all
ready to
right,
go.
we told them, let's let them be, and we don't want to stay here anymore.
Hmm.
That is for damn sure.
Mm,
Yeah, I know Icarus is ready to go a long time ago.
She was ready to go last night.
Especially especially after reading that book. It's like,
This place.
okay.
um,
Give me a reason why we shouldn't burn. Give me a reason.
Although that would explain why, um, with if your characters that know about the religion, it would explain why like no Desmond was here to like expose or even help out because Desmond was never here to begin with.
Right. Never.
Like
Ever, ever.
This was Glounder's territory,
Right. This
and
Right.
is not really a Desna.
yeah,
Right. She
You
was
know.
never here.
It's not. You would say it's not a destination.
but
No. He
now
That's
said.
why
with
you're
the
never getting those doo doo robes. That right there. That's why you're not getting those doo doo robes.
but with the with the people knowing the truth and
Uh,
starting having to start fresh with this sudden revelation and this sudden event overnight,
mm,
they're they're gonna be looking deeper into their own souls and realizing uh, we've we ruined this ourselves. We didn't serve Desna the way we were supposed to. And some of them are feeling that way. Some of them are like, no wonder Glounder was here. We fucked up with Desna.
mm.
Although, you have others that are like, how could Desna let this happen? I mean, it comes from both. There's both angles.
Let's see.
Right.
There's,
Let's see. As a quick question for
You
Waylon.
could have done your own homework. Oh, what was the question?
How much can you cook up in that pot?
cauldron. He's like, you
how much?
got your cauldron now.
How much? How much? How many potions can you cook up in that cauldron of yours, there, buddy?
Well, he responds with, uh,
Uh,
after
uh,
sitting here and really looking at the capabilities of this cauldron, coupled together with my own expertise, though the best way to make it understandable to you is like with most solutions, you can take something complex, something powerful, and you could make something, you could produce a portion of it, but it would only be a small amount. However,
mm,
if you were to dilute it, you could make many.
gotcha.
As far as a concrete number is concerned, to give you a good example, we could take something that is a magical effect that is extremely powerful. Let's take, for example, a third magnitude type of magical effect or magical potion. If I were to water it down so that instead of lasting hours, it only lasts minutes, we could make
Mm,
up to 40 or so such portions of such a thing. It will not
yeah,
be as potent, it will not last as long as it would under normal circumstances had you kept it at a third magnitude magical effect. However, by making it a first magnitude magical effect, you can have more of it.
right.
So, that being said, it is prudent, I believe, to take magical effects that we only need for a short amount of time and dilute them down to a first magnitude magical effect and produce more of those types of potions. And those effects that we want to last the longest, those that we want to make sure that last an entire incursion or expedition into a particular dangerous situation, those we want to keep at their highest magical magnitude. Am I making sense to you?
Yes, you are.
Hmm. Well, yes, to give you a number, I can create a very strong magnitude potion in about maybe three or so potions, three to four.
Mm,
But the very weakest, if I were to dilute that same magnitude down to a first magnitude magical effect, I can produce up to 40 such potions.
that's my question.
However, in either case, whether I produce the strongest or whether I dilute the strongest to the weakest to produce more of it. We are talking about a consumption of something along the lines of at least 13 1,300 gold pieces in magical material necessary to produce such potions. But also keep in mind, we may not need to mass produce that many potions to begin with.
Right. Not at all. We've been getting by with much less.
Much less.
Well, your character's head out.
Do.
With your horse and wagon. Yes.
Hmm.
Were we leaving? That's a good question. Are we leaving it here or we're taking it all the way with us, right? Dropping it off somewhere.
Your characters have analyzed and planned. From Ravenmoor to the Storval stairs, 72-mile journey. It'll take you a day, 2 days. It'll take you 2 days.
Mm.
It'll be by the 7 hours into the second day. You'll reach the stairs, the Storval stairs, and then you can get to the top of it and then rest sometime after that.
Yeah.
The question is getting the horse and wagon up those stairs.
Yeah, that is the question. Wasn't it if we are we gonna leave it here in Ravenmore or are we gonna
I mean, you guys have I mean, your characters have the magical resources to. I think one idea
to
was to
get it up?
give. Yeah, I think one idea was to give the horses all spider climb potions.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's
So
right.
you'd have to get those
I
made
forgot about that
first.
one.
So the fucking or
About the wagon.
But
extracts if
I'm,
you yeah.
What
but
about
we
the
got yeah. What about the wagon though? So they could carry the wagon up with spider climb.
Well, yeah, they'd be climbing up they'd be going up the wall with the pulling the wagon up behind them and shit.
uh,
Definitely some handle animal checks are gonna be useful, so the horses aren't freaking out about having to climb up a wall like that. Cause that's not what
Yeah,
they're used to.
we got
Yeah.
some animals on deck.
You could just put you could with handle animal. You could just put like a rag over their head, like their eyes, and just lead them,
oh, okay.
so they don't know like what's going on. Like they
Right.
do
Blinders.
don't get like
Blinders.
fighters, yeah.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Yeah. Also to direct them to like, all right, put your foot on that wall, right, and then direct them to keep trying to put your feet up a wall, and then when it starts to stick and they start moving, you know, it's gonna be disorienting for them, yeah, for sure. Like if it's like I don't know, trying to think of an example. Like putting a dog in space in zero gravity or something. It's like they're like, fuck. Man confused. Um, so yeah, that's the amount of time it would take journey there.
Turn them into Pegasus.
Well, we have 2 days, so can we write like I guess the potions that we want in the chat?
Um, yeah, for like the first day of your journey as you're going down the Black River until, an 8-hour day goes by and then you can rest. Um, yeah, so you can
Right.
start crafting can start working.
2 days of crafting, whatever you guys need.
Robes.
There's no crafter with
Robes.
us.
No, I mean like potions, potions,
Oh,
potions,
potions, yeah.
Yeah.
potions.
But like
I'm
crafting
talking about
items, no,
potions. No,
we don't
He's
got
like
that
no,
speed anymore.
he's like, we don't
nah.
got that, no.
Yeah,
That shit's
uh,
gone now.
that's just
Cancel
gone.
that.
And Quinn's working on something right now. Quinn's working on something big.
No more crafting for me.
Quinn been very busy.
But yeah,
Quinn's
we'll
not gonna stop being busy.
we'll
It's gonna be the hardest working
we'll
NPC
figure
in
out
the
what those
game.
we'll figure out what those 2 days of
We can figure that
of
out.
brewing, yeah,
Like we can figure that out in the chat though.
of the potion brewing for those 2 days. It's the second day, and there's still after
Like the
about a seven
cocoa
hour
cook up.
after about a 7 hour journey, you see it in the distance, and you're getting closer and closer, and um it's
Can
the
we
the
do a scan of it with the eye in with the arcane eye? Oh, that's right. We don't have Quinn. Never mind.
your characters
I
see
guess he sounds useful now. You will never hear me say that
in the
Nah,
in
in
the
a
in
serious
the
tone.
that was the
in the
only thing he
in
was good
the
for.
in
One of
the
the few things.
distance
One of the
in the
few things he was
distance
good for.
as you leave, your characters veer off and away from the river because now you're going towards where the Storval stairs are at. And as you get closer, you start to see the Storval rise. You see this huge, massive plateau that rises over 1,000 feet up, in the air, and it goes all across the Perchain Hills,
Mm.
as you can see here. And you can see the contour line where the Storval Rise plateau begins. All that is just a sheer cliff.
Damn.
Damn.
So the only way to climb up there without relying on flight or climbing or teleporting, mundanely, the easiest way is to use the Storval stairs, which is where your character are going towards. And you can see it in the distance, with the Storval Rise being one of the most unique and infamous landmarks here in Varicia. And there's a change in the terrain. Your characters had gone from the fertile lowlands to now a rugged and stony scrublands. And this marks now is beginning to mark the lands of the giants and the Shawanti barbarians.
Oh boy. Oh no.
Mm-hmm.
This
The rise itself can go
it
dizzying
says
heights.
Shawanti barbarians.
The dizzying heights of in fact there was there was several on horseback characters did notice in the far distance watching your group, but then they didn't approach you. They left. But you've got some Shawanti um tribes that are curious about your presence there, but
Oh yeah, come and talk to us, son.
They were like, yeah, we're cool on those guys. We
well
felt the
there's
aura. We're
well
cool
there
on.
there's different tribes. Um
Right. No, there is, right?
yeah. I
They
think
might
I
not all
have
be bad.
it.
They might not all be bad. They
I
might
think
actually
I
need,
have it. Do I have it? Where do I have it?
you know. It could be one of the tribes we put in power after we destroy everything in Jorgenfist.
Maybe it was in here. I put it in here. No, I didn't put it in here. Did I? Yeah, I did. I did. I put it in here. So here,
We're really going to Jorgenfist. God,
Yo, I think that's a dope ass name.
right
that
here,
is. That is. I
Grinfest.
like it. Not gonna lie.
right here
We should
is
we should take Jorgenfist for ours
right
for
here is
our headquarters.
right here is the cap get booted.
Yeah, I
Or did
don't
he say he
see.
was leaving? He was just there, and I guess he got booted.
Might have just got booted. Probably be back.
Um, this map here shows the various Shoanti quas. Uh, Kwa is a Shawanti name for like a nation, their tribe.
Okay.
And there's known to be 7 Kwas of the rugged natives known as the Shawanti. And each Kwa has its own distinct territories and traditions and beliefs adhered to by numerous component tribes. Um, there are tattoos that are commonly worn by the Kwas, and there are certain totems that each clan reveres. And I think in the area you guys are in now, here we are. You are in the territory of the Shriqua, or the Hawk clan.
Oh boy.
They are known to be far-ranging traders and beastmasters.
Okay.
They favor symbols as tattoos that suggest travel and the wild and animals, particularly hawks and horses. So the
Can I get a
ones you
pet
saw,
hawk?
so the one that you saw on the horseback earlier during your travel, probably definitely members of the Shri Kirikwa. They haven't approached your characters, though. They had watched you from a distance. Although there were various moments also during your travel that you saw not one or two, but several hawks flying above your characters. Far up in the sky, but you can make them out as hawks.
Bruh,
So,
shoot that shit down. No, let me stop.
Right. No, no.
so,
Don't start a war. Don't start a war. We could use them. Use them. Get
so,
the hawk
so,
people on our
so,
side, yo.
yeah, I would say so. Very likely they were trained, hawks, probably as scouts for.
Yeah.
Are
But
these
Can we get
giant?
one?
so
Can we
your
get?
characters know that
Can I
this.
get a pet hawk?
I mean, if you want to go for it, but your
Yeah.
characters know that the Hawk Clan. Your characters are aware that the Hawk Clan's been keeping an eye on your
Right.
characters. They haven't approached you, but they haven't. They haven't been hostile or anything like that either. You're in their
Are they,
lands, so
are they
they're
human?
just they're keeping an eye. Yeah, they're human. They're Shawanti humans.
Yes. Yeah. I'll take a pet hawk.
There are Shawanti people that, not a whole lot, but there are Shawanti people. There's some that live in Sandpoint. The sheriff is a Shawanti. I don't know what tribe. I don't know what clan his family's originally from, but he's Shawanti. Him and his brother. And there's Shawanti that live in Magnamar, but they're treated as
Yup, they're not treated nicely. They're considered
Really?
the ne'er do wells of society. They're
right.
Gotcha.
looked at as like
They're like
They
Native
treat it like
Americans. They're
they
like
treat it
Native
like
Americans.
hillbillies.
They're like Native Americans, and they're treated like.
worse than
Uh.
that. They're looked at as like basically like automatically looked at as
Lower
like
class and
gangsters,
yeah,
lower class,
gangster.
like
Yeah, those thugs, that kind of
yeah, looked at
situation.
as like
It's
that.
that
Yeah.
racist shit. That's what it is.
But the
Um,
problem is
Same thing.
The Shuanti gangs that exist are the ones that perpetuate that stereotype.
yeah. Um,
How it always goes.
the um the totems that the Shirikwa revere is that of the fire pelt cougars, the hawk, the horse, air elementals, clouds, the wind, hippogriffs. So they're
Yeah.
very,
Yeah.
very, very into the winds and travel and nature
Okay.
and animals. So
I like it. I
uh,
like it.
they are they are a typically friendly tribe. They're not
Right.
so your characters are, as long as you don't
See,
fuck with them, they won't fuck with you kind of situation.
Gotcha.
They might you might even
Might
encounter
even be able to do some trade.
that's what I'm saying. You might even encounter some that if they see that you're safe to trade with,
Right.
which is what they're obviously doing. They're like, they see the wagon, and that's their first thought is, okay, maybe,
merchants.
yeah, they
Yeah.
might be merchants. They might be, so, a good chance your characters might encounter some that wants to, trade, see what you got, and they'll show you
We
what
got
they
plenty to
have. And
trade, baby. Come
Plenty
through.
to trade, baby.
But,
so,
yeah, but
as long as you're proven to be trustworthy, they might even take you to like a nearby camp one of their
Unless
camp
you're
to,
got that exotic animal that
get some peace pipe
tiger
going,
thing you
whatever,
got,
Yeah, yeah.
Yo,
I
whaling is all about
you could trade it
mercantilism.
for one of those
All
flying
about it.
creatures,
yeah. I'm
like
not gonna
trading
lie.
Pokemon, like trading like
Yep,
Pokemon. You know,
yep. I'm
you're
not
like,
gonna
yo,
lie.
I'll give you this exotic tiger-looking thing for
I
that.
would. Oh, truth. Got a little fire pelt cat. Got a little fire pelt cougar
Yeah,
back at the
the fire
crib.
pelt cat. Yeah, you can trade that. Oh, it's not with us. I thought it was with us.
no, it's
Yeah,
in
it is. It's a Ravenmore.
no, it's not in Ravenmore. It's in
Uh,
Oh, it's in a wagon.
no, it's in
yes,
Galderia. It's in Galderia.
Ah, dang.
Galderia.
Yeah.
That could have been trading goods right there. All right.
Damn.
Hmm.
You want a pet?
I thought
You
I
want
took
a
it to Ravenmore.
Or a
cougar?
falcon.
I thought I
Get a
took it to
falcon.
Ravenmore, and then I said,
No, I think you paid somebody in Galderia, a handler, to like take care of it there, because you guys found it before you went to Galderia. So you
okay,
dropped it. It's in Galderia. I don't think you want it in Ravenmore now.
nah, nah, absolutely not.
You're some sturgeon. You
I,
come back and some
I know I
sturgeon
was trying to get it.
sucked all the blood
Eventually,
out
I was
of
trying
it.
to get it back to the. I was trying to get it back to. I was trying to get it back to the stable with Crixus. Actually, that was the main goal.
Yeah, so yeah, well, on your way back when you come through Galderia, you'll be able to pick them up and bring them. Did he get a name?
Yeah, Snarf.
You'll
Or
so, so yeah, you'll be able to pick up Snarf and bring him straight back
maybe
to
maybe you'll get
Sandpoint.
maybe you'll bring a new animal for Snarf to have as a friend in Crixus.
Right,
Or
and the bird,
Bring it back a whole, yeah.
and got a nice little farm.
you reminded me like Mike Tyson. Did he used to like collect exotic animals? It was like
Yep.
Tigers and shit. Yeah.
and then with his
Um.
pigeons, tigers.
That's
So
one of those
yeah.
albino
So
tiger and shit.
your characters
That man is fearless. He didn't even
you
fear
see
those bugs.
you see the rise, and it's reaching the dizzying heights of 1,000 feet or even more in various areas throughout the plateau in the distance and such. But right here where the Storval stairs are at, you notice that
Hmm.
the cliffs are only about 400 feet high here, and you
Only
can
400 feet.
see and you
Okay.
can see you can see in the distance easily before you an ancient Thessalonian monument that was
Oh boy.
once used by armies of enslaved giants for easy foot travel between the lowland and the plateau. And so you see the stairs getting closer and closer as you're traveling towards it. The stairs themselves are steps that are 2 feet in height, and they are flanked on both sides by immense statues of Rune Lord Kazu,
Oh god.
the Rune Lord of Greed, which uh which has been the which coincidentally your characters have noticed has been the souls that have been collected for those Sahedron rituals, the greedy
Mm.
souls.
Mm,
Um the although the southern statue of Rune Lord Karzug looks like it's finally beginning to crumble and erode. Um beginning to. So even after 10,000 years, it's only now starting to erode. And you notice walls of ancient towers, buildings, and dwellings. Um, there have been stories of harpies and trolls that do dwell in the area, but
Mm.
you were told. I think somebody had asked Terractinus a question about the Storval stairs, and he did say that Lochmurian has placed a tribe of hill giants
yeah.
to guard the stairs. To basically get rid of whatever harpies and trolls are there, and to occupy the stairs for for themselves
Map.
in the name of Makmurian, pretty
This
much.
this 3D map looks cool.
Um, Walking up the stairs is only 2 squares of movement for medium or smaller creatures. But yeah, your characters are approaching the stairs. I'd say um, yeah, you can see it in the distance. I guess I can ask you how you prepare to approach the stairs and climb up with the horse and wagon.
Mm.
Um, but that can be we can discuss that for sure in WhatsApp and anything else you want to bring up for approaching the stairs, and we can pick up from whatever's decided on WhatsApp. We can pick up from there um, next week.
That sounds
Yes,
good.
sir.
Sounds good.
Good little mini session.
Approach the Starval stairs, baby.
We
We are here.
Mm.
way to pull it together.
You're at the Storval stairs, about to enter the plateau, Storval plateau. Oh, and there was a point in your journey and the distance your characters can kind of make out Hook Mountain.
Oh, which one's bigger?
Um,
Jorgenfist is much bigger, isn't it?
let's see. We go to this map.
Oh, the map looks better.
Mm.
Oh,
Um,
shit.
I'd say as your characters were going across the lowlands here, you can see
On the other map, I saw a Coliseum too, to the east.
right there in that circle at the southern end of the Iron Peak. Your characters are like, where Hook Mountain would be. Well, just over this mountain range,
What's the Hook Mountain?
right here. So
Oh,
basically, you guys could see the mountains in the distance, just on the other side of that mountain range. Your characters know that's where Turtleback Ferry and Kriegwood and all of that is at.
Mm.
But that is not a part of the Iron Peaks that you're going to. You're not going to the southern part. You are going onto the plateau, and there's a valley at the northern end, on the western side of the Iron Peak, Valley of the Black Tower, and that is where Jorgenfist is located.
Uh, Valley of the Black Tower. That should be fun.
And so, yeah. As for getting to Jorgenfist, your characters know that it's going to be.
We do
Mm,
like a knowledge check on the Black Tower and all that.
why didn't
Anything
I
in
put?
there? Did
That's
we do
weird.
that already?
I didn't put
I think we did already.
I didn't put how many days that would be. 30, 31, little over 30 miles away from the Storval Stairs is where the Valley of the Black is where you can locate the valley.
Yeah.
But
Valley of the Black Tower. Sure. That sounds ominous as fuck.
Mhm. I think the horse it was 50 feet speed. And I think overland walk like 5 miles an hour for about 6 hours, a little 6 to 7 hours. So about a day. If you go from the Thorvald stairs straight to the valley, about a day. And then once you get to the valley, you can start looking for where Jorgenfist is at. Um, you're also in territory where you can easily encounter not just the natives and the maybe native Shawanti or native uh, creatures that live in this geographical region, but also patrols of Mokmurian stone giants and whatever else he has as allies. You you have not For the time being, your characters are approaching Mark Murian, and he there's a pretty good chance he doesn't know that you're on the way.
Mm.
Nice.
I don't think your characters have been your characters at for all you know, you haven't been scryed on. Um, you you haven't detected you haven't found or detected any That's not to say you haven't been spotted, and even if you have, doesn't necessarily mean you are going straight to Jorgenfist. But trying to think, I don't think the only ones that would recognize your party would be someone like Lucretia.
Yeah.
Of
So,
course.
But really,
but
really, we
really, the
gotta.
chances of you guys know Lucretia's not the type to be scouting around. You know she doesn't have divination magic like that,
Right.
and
She did pop up on us.
you know that well, no, well, that was easy. She knows you guys are
Yeah.
staying at. She knows you guys were at
Right.
Turtleback. All she had to do was
Right.
disguise
Right.
herself and just yeah. This is
Yeah.
different. You guys are out in the middle of practically
Nowhere.
nowhere, and
Yeah.
and she ain't the type to go. She ain't scouting around. She ain't doing that. Nah, she's chilling somewhere luxurious, most likely in Jorgenfist if she's there. So, but your characters definitely know for sure that he definitely told McMurray about you, and you're not sure of all the magic McMurray has. Maybe he's already spied on you. Maybe he's already described to his people what you look like and who you are. And
Um,
if he hasn't sent anything to stop you. Um, so it's really 50-50 whether they know you're coming or not at this moment.
I think our best bet is really going to be
Going there as if they
doing the
yeah.
opposite. Like since like assuming not worrying so much about the information that they gather on us, but trying to um really beseech Quindamir to use his divination magic to give us a good and strong enough understanding of what we're getting into. Scrying on them and finding out like the lay of the land, getting a good idea um of ways that we could approach Jorgen Fist without being like completely obvious about it. If there's any like secret entrances that we should know about beforehand. I remember
Yeah.
that one time when we were approaching Foxgrove Manor and we went through the well that led underground. We ended up facing like probably one of the strongest bosses ahead of time, but that was good because we didn't have to deal
Hmm.
with him on the back end when our resources were low.
Oh, the
So
scapeling,
that fucking
scapeling,
bat and shit was
Yeah.
the,
crazy.
the, the, the
Giant
giant
bat.
ghoul, the
Yeah.
giant ghoul bat.
Yeah,
Found that shit by accident in the
crazy.
well.
But we dealt with him like while we're at our strongest.
That
We
was
weren't.
wild because I was like, I remember describing, there was a well and all this other stuff, and then somebody was like, "Let's go down the well." I'm like, "What?"
Yeah, that was me.
Yeah. Yep.
Found that shit by accident with
Like,
Scott
yeah.
with
I
Mike.
mean, because it was an option, you
Yeah.
know, and yeah, it was an option of entering, but like, I would have never thought of going down the well and finding a fucking tunnel at the bottom that led into the manor. Like, I would have never thought that. My ass would have been, if I was playing, I would have been like, "What's in the well?" I'd have looked in there and been like, "Oh, okay." But I think I gotta read it. I think if you look in the well, I think there was a perception check to like notice
Yeah.
to notice there was a hole in the wall, like near the bottom. I think that's
Mm-hmm.
what it was. I think when you guys went to check it out, so I think it might have been this year. Somebody with a perception check had noticed it.
A high perception saw it at the bottom. Then we
Yeah,
went
and
down
then
there and looked, and it was a
and then that
nice
was when the
little.
decision. Yeah, that was when the
Uh,
decision was made. They were like, "Should we check that hole out in the well? Or should we go through the front doors or some shit?" They're like,
yeah, it was like either go through the front door or go through the well. And we said, "Fuck it, well it is,"
Yep. If we
and
can
ran
find
into.
out little bits of information like that, then
I think we did though, right? We got. I mean, this is pretty much how we got here. But I guess that there might be more new shit.
"Yeah, I'll go over and WhatsApp what Correctness had shared."
Yeah,
because
right.
he did he
Terractinus gave us a bunch of stuff.
yeah, he did share that Jorgen Fist was built around that Black Tower.
Mm.
There is a Black Tower in the Valley of the Black Tower, obviously,
Oh,
but
oh, there's an actual black tower, like a
yeah, there's an
separate.
actual Black Tower in there, but
Can we do like
the Stone
Black
Giants
Tower
have
lore?
the Stone Giants have. I think somebody did that. I think
Okay,
Ren did. Ren couldn't recall much about it other than that there might be something religious involved in it.
gotta go check the Black Tower, fellas.
But
Mm.
but that's his, he knows obviously there might be some great magic there, but he also believes that there was something more religious about the Black Tower. He just doesn't know what. Still a mystery. Still
Guess
one of those great Thessalonian mysteries that can now hopefully be explored. But but the Stone Giants stay away from it because it's an ancient Thessalonian structure
right.
from built by the ants the fucking humans in the past that had
Just like
enslaved
the
their
fucking
kind. Um, so they
we
don't
just
really.
tend to
It's
stay
like
away from the shit.
it's like taboo to them. But
Yeah.
Mokmurian was like, nah, Mokmurian had a wall built around the whole tower and set up guard towers. I think Terractin said, and he said there's a pit in the center that was opened up,
Mm.
and he's like, in that pit that leads below is where uh Mokmurian resides. Um, he said Montmorian doesn't really he doesn't know of Montmorian ever going into the Black Tower itself. Nobody does. That from what he knows. Um, in fact, he doesn't know too much because he has yet to
See.
be invited into the because only certain he said only specific uh highly honored like stone giants
Mm.
can come into the walls of Jorgenfeld. Everyone else is camped out, camped outside the walls.
Gotcha.
Um,
It's like the Holy Land of Stone Giants.
so some of the stone giants don't really care because they're like, oh, I don't want to get near the Black Tower anyway. But
Mm.
Terractinus is not one of them. He was like, he didn't want to have any, he didn't want to get close to it either, and
Well,
he wasn't too concerned that he couldn't be within the walls. Like
sounds like
he
that.
was working his way up to that though. He wanted to be part of the special elites that get to go inside the walls of
All
Jorgen
right.
Fist, and but
Sounds like Black Tower
that's
needs some
not
freedom.
happening.
Needs some RLS freedom.
But in any case, um, we'll continue next week.
Yes, indeed.
Right?
Still, I guess also make a list of fucking what
Good
we need
night.
from Whalen.
Yeah, man. Throw it my way. Throw it my way.
Yeah,
I,
I'll put it all in the chat.
I
In
gotta
the
say,
chat.
I'm thankful to grab all this poison that we got going on.
Right?
Right.
You got some good good new poisons and shit.
Yeah,
Good
man.
night, gents.
We got some good
Night,
doses
bro.
going on. Good dosages.
Right.
Yeah, man. That's just gonna knock.
Hmm. All right, gents.
All right,
All
guys.
right, guys.
All right. Y'all have a good night.
Thanks again for the raids.
I missed Malik. Yeah, I missed his I need to have my thing up. I have a thing up where I can see like the the Twitch chat
Mm,
like in the corner of my screen. So I missed it. He had said good night earlier and I forgot to
yeah, I
I
see
didn't
it.
check it in time, yeah. But yeah, good night to the rest of the chat.
That was a nice session.
Yeah, at least we got something done. Advanced. Alrighty.
All
Catch you
right, man.
Thursday. Peace.
Indeed. Have a good one.